Welcome back to East Coast Blue Jays. I'm your host, Patrick McGrath. Thank you all for coming in. And on this episode, we're going to be talking about Vladimir Guerrero and Alex Bregman. But before we get things going, if you are the 30% of the subscribers to our page from East Coast Blue Jays, thank you so much. It's greatly appreciated. If you're the 69% that hasn't and like to follow the Blue Jays and our content, give us a like and subscribe. Is greatly appreciated. I really appreciate it. So let's get things going here. We're start off with Vladimir Guerrero. So what's going on right now, sources are saying that Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is not for sale. Yes, he's not for sale. He is not to be traded. He's not going anywhere. People are saying that if he doesn't get signed before the 18th, that he's going to be traded, and he's not. So you want to squash that. He's staying with the Jays for at least another year and see what happens from there. So from Jeff Passan, he wrote, for those who think perhaps Vladimir Guerrero Jr. would become available, he can come in terms of his contract extension. So if he doesn't come in terms with his contract extension by February 18th, that he's going to be traded, and he's not. The Blue Jays continue to insist to other executives that the slugger isn't going anywhere. This is from Jeff Passan. He's a great reporter. He's usually right with everything. There is a price for everyone, yes, but Guerrero would be exceptionally high. So if there ever was a trade, they'd have to sell everything in the kitchen sink to get Vladdy in. Ross Atkins is not going to do that right now. No way. And the Blue Jay fans wouldn't let him either. Okay. So, Ross Atkins. So, here's another report. Some of you are saying, so Ross Atkins is going to ruin the Blue Jays' future rather than do what's best for the franchise. Meaning, if we sell Vladdy now, there's possible trade candidates that may come to the Blue Jays and to give up Vladdy. It's not going to happen right now. It seems to be something in the works. There is 7 days left before Vladdy's deadline before the 18th. But yeah, so I don't know if it's going to ruin the Blue Jays. I'm hoping it all falls into the Blue Jays' side. So why the Blue Jays are planning on holding on to Guerrero regardless of whether he's extended or not is quite simple. He gives them a better chance of winning in 2025. Guerrero is an MVP caliber player. Without him, the Jays would struggle to compete in the American League. Definitely. So we're keeping Guerrero because we want to win it this year. It's going to be hard with the Dodgers for sure, but we want to at least win the American pennant. American East or the American pennant, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, so another article. This one is by Shai Davidi. He wrote an article on Sportsnet. You can go check that out on sportsnet.com. And he wrote, and he's more or less saying that the Toronto Blue Jays can afford Vladdy. This is so more or less. These Blue Jays face no such pressure with the 2025 payroll for competitive balance tax purposes projecting out to $273 million, beyond the second threshold of $261 million. Even if their payroll was $250 million, a $40 million AAV of Vladimir Guerrero Jr. would amount to only 16%, leaving plenty of room to augment around him. So more or less, if the Blue Jays did decide to offer Vladimir Guerrero Jr. $40 million AAV per year, that's only 16% of the payroll. So in the past, they were always saying that the Toronto Blue Jays never spend, won't spend big players. They won't bring players in because they don't want to spend. Now, it's totally different. The Blue Jays are spending now. Obviously, there's a $273 million payroll right now they're spending. And if the Blue Jays give $40 million to Guerrero, that's only 16%. So, no, the Blue Jays are not giving Vladdy all the money. With 16% of the payroll, they're still able to build around Vladimir Guerrero Jr. So there is lots of play, and like I said, Shai Davidi says the Jays are going to spend. So there's a tweet by Johnny, and he's from Gate 14 Podcast. Follow him. He's a great guy to watch. And he tweets, if the Toronto Blue Jays extend Vladimir Guerrero Jr. before spring training, I will be giving away a Vladdy City Connect jersey to a Gate 14 Podcast listener. You hear that? So go over there and join Gate 14 Podcast. Be one of the listeners, and you could be the winner if Vladimir Guerrero Jr. signs before the 18th. So cross your fingers, and hopefully things will work out for the Toronto Blue Jays. So now we're going to jump on to Alex Bregman and see what's going on there. Now, if you're all hoping that Alex Bregman is going to sign with the Blue Jays, don't hold your breath. It's probably not going to happen. It's just the way it is. There's only 3 teams right now that are possible spots for Alex. You got the Chicago Cubs, the Detroit Tigers, and Boston Red Sox. As far as the Houston Astros and Toronto Blue Jays, I think they're kind of dissipated. They're kind of not involved anymore. But you never know. I don't know. But sources are saying that the MLB insider thinks Toronto Blue Jays are out of Alex Bregman's sweepstakes. Source by Robert Murray of Fansided. Isn't sure who will land Bregman. He does think it won't be the Toronto Blue Jays. Possibly. I don't know. He doesn't know, but he's just speculating. So Robert Murray also said he's skeptical at this point that Alex will end up getting a long-term contract. So it's probably going to be a short-term contract. He wouldn't declare a favorite, but he imagines it will be between the Tigers, Cubs, and Sox, like I mentioned earlier. So also MLB Network, Alex Bregman reportedly to sign with the Cubs, the Red Sox, and the Tigers. Which team do you feel is going to sign up? Just leave a little comment below. Who do you think Bregman's going to sign with? Most of my followers are going to say Blue Jays. But for me, I feel it's going to be the Chicago Cubs. And this is why I think it's going to be the Chicago Cubs. Because Ryan Presley, if you know him, he played with Alex Bregman for the Houston Astros the last few years. This is what he said. I don't think it's recruiting. Cubs pitcher Bregman's former Houston Astros teammate, Ryan Presley, said Tuesday from spring training, it's not like, hey, come here. I would like to play with him. 1,000%. I would love to play with him. So, yeah, it's same happened with Chris Bassett tweeting out to Max Scherzer. Come on over. This is a great organization. That's the same thing what Ryan Presley is doing to Alex Bregman. That's why I feel that Alex Bregman is going to be signing with the Chicago Cubs, but I'm not real sure. So my take on Alex Bregman is I think he's going to be a Cub. I don't think the Jays are even in consideration in signing him anymore. As far as Vladimir Guerrero Jr., I feel that he's going to sign with the Jays. I hope so. Pay the guy. Just pay the guy. Get him signed up before. There's only 7 days left. So I feel that we're going to get Vladdy signed. So I'm crossing my fingers. But how do you guys feel about it? Who do you think Alex Bregman is going to sign with? Leave a little comment below. Who do you think, or do you think I should, what do you think? How do you feel about Vladimir Guerrero Jr.? Do you think he's going to sign before the 17th? Do you feel he's not? Do you feel that he's just going to wait until next year and see what kind of money he can get next year? But I feel that Alex is going to sign with the Cubs, and I think Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is going to sign with the Jays before the 18th. So Johnny from Gate 14 will need to give away a Vladdy City Connect jersey, and I hope he does. But thank you all for coming in. Give us a like, give us a subscribe, and leave a comment below. And thank you all for coming in. Have a great night. And like I always say, let's go Jays.